Hi everyone, so I had a productive day today. I finished my painting and then I went up to the pool. I swam 10 lengths. Then I came down and then I went for a walk for 35 minutes. And then I came back and I just made some pasta to eat. And yeah, that's all I did today. I don't know what I'm going to do for next month's rent. For this month's rent, I had to ask my cousins to help me because I don't have any money in my bank account. I had to make 2 payments for my rent. And the reality is that Canadians, much as they say they help you and that they're kind and that they're polite, they're not. They don't help you. And there's also a cultural difference. Like if you go to French Canada, which is Quebec and all that, they get all the special treatment. Because if you noticed how Justin Trudeau ran the country, he made all the investments in Quebec, in French Canada, all the benefits they brought in, cutting the costs for the internet and all of that. He did it all for the French Canadians. So it's very hard for people who come here. When I came here, I didn't get any special treatment. They didn't help me at all. They expected me to just hit the ground running. I had 1 week of training with Teresa Bowman's former assistant, and after that they expected me to just take care of everything. And that's how it's been in all my jobs here. It's very, very hard. Today the guy came in to change the filter for the vent, for the air conditioning. And I was telling him I've been at home for over a year. He's like, really? He said, last year when I came here, you were sitting on that computer and I heard you taking those calls and all that. I said, yeah, they took our jobs away. He's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, but there's so many jobs available. I said, I'm not even getting one. I applied to retail. I applied in the hospitals. I applied at U of T. I applied to the banks. I applied across Canada and I'm not getting anything. He's like, really? But you're so good. I said, yeah, you tell me about it. So I don't know why all these scientists and everybody want to leave America and come to Canada. They're not going to get any benefits here. They're not going to get any special treatment. They're not going to be made to feel welcome. And I have no idea why they're keeping me out of a job. Because I even contacted the Jesuits to tell them that I'm looking for a job. And they're like, oh no, go on the website and apply. Meanwhile, they get all their friends and their family into jobs. Even with my John Maxwell, I was telling them on one of the calls that I don't get any interest in this John Maxwell. They're like, why? I said, I don't know. I send out my flyers. I make cold calls. I sent it to the university. I sent it to Ryerson. I sent it to Christian colleges. Nobody's interested in it. And they're like, oh no, don't give up. I said, yeah, don't give up. I said, they coordinate everything here. And they're like, oh, you better come to America. I said, yeah, if I get a job in America, obviously I'm going to come. I'm not going to stay here. This country is for people who don't like to work. It's for people who like to take small contracts, then they go on holiday for 6 months, then they have their summer camp with their children. Then they're like, oh no, the hiring managers are not here, their children are away at camp, so maybe when they come back, then they'll make the decision. It's like an ongoing nightmare. It really is. And when you're trying to start a business, you can't get the loans. Nobody will lend you the money. So it really is a nightmare. It really is. I mean, I would encourage people to think very carefully. If I didn't have my family helping me, if I didn't have people giving me money, I could never survive. I mean, this is a basic condo. This is a basic condo. It's not a high-end condo. The houses and things which are nice start at $1 million. So you have to be earning at least $80,000, $90,000 to even think of buying a place. If you're not earning that, forget it. When I bought my place at Roosevelt Gardens, I took a high ratio mortgage as a first-time home buyer. That's how I got it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it. And then even knowing that, they let me go. I told them, I said, please find me something else internally. I just bought my place and my mother's coming. They're like, we don't have anything for you. I said, come on, it's a big bank. You can transfer me. You can send me to England. You can send me to Singapore. Oh no, we don't have anything for you. So, and then you want to tell me that, really, they didn't have anything? You must be kidding. It's about who you know here. It's about who you know and whether they're going to accept you inside their village. And if you're a tall poppy, if you stand out, they're not like the Americans. If you're good and you shine, the Americans will make sure you get the best of the best. If you look at their athletes, if you look at how they treat their athletes, start with that. If you're the best of the best, they're not going to say, oh no, everybody must have a turn. They'll take that athlete and they'll pay them $1 million. And they won't pay them that $1 million only because they're good. They'll pay them that $1 million because they know that their health could suffer. They know that while they're out there playing, anything can happen to them. They could land up with a broken back if it's football. They could land up losing a limb for whatever sport it is. Here, do they give you anything extra for working in a high-stress environment, for working overnight, for being the best of the best? They don't. They don't give you anything extra. So, I mean, I really don't know why the scientists all want to leave America and come here, because it's the same thing in the hospitals. There's a limited number of jobs. Everybody's scrambling. Everybody's trying to apply for the same jobs. And then when you get in there, if somebody's got a mentee or somebody they want to bring in, even if you did a good job, like when I was at BMO, I did a perfectly fantastic job. I was highly recommended. But somebody there knew somebody who they wanted to bring in who was white, so they took them and they let me go. I mean, you talk about discrimination. That's how discrimination works. It's the same thing with the police station. Me being summoned to the police station. They want to arrest me for doing the right thing, for reporting the right things after being told what to do. That's how discrimination works. That's how it works. And I'm tired of it. You leave Africa thinking, oh no, you're running away from this and you're getting away from it. And then you come here and you get a different kind of discrimination. You get put into the worst jobs, you get hired 3 to 6 months, then they let you go, another 3 to 6 months, then they let you go. So if they didn't like your attitude in the first 2 weeks, why do they wait 3 months and then tell you they didn't like your approach? Did you change in that 3 months that you were there? No, you didn't. Or you go to an interview. I went to an interview at CIBC for one of the contracts when I was looking for work. This was years ago. And I got to the interview and I thought it went well. I came home and then they said to me, no, they're not moving you forward to the next stage. So I said, oh, why? Can you give me some feedback? And they're like, well, two of us liked you. There were 2 Indian guys and an Indian woman. I said, she didn't like your trousers. I said, are you kidding me? And he's like, no. I said, I always wear these trousers. And he's like, Belinda, there's nothing wrong with your trousers. I think she just didn't like you. So then, this is again what people tell you to do. These guys told me, you have to tell HRPA. So I told HRPA, they said you have to file a complaint. I said, and then what's going to come of that? They're like, no, you have to do it because we have to address this. So then I filed a complaint, nothing happened. They just said, oh well, thank you for bringing these things to our attention, but nothing happened. So, I mean, when people tell you file a complaint, speak up, it's important, it's about justice, don't do it. Don't do it, because they're just going to spoil your life. They say, oh, speak up. If you see something, say something. I don't anymore, because my whole life was spoiled because I did the right thing. Because I stood up for myself and what was right, and I stood up for Canada. Look at the amount of volunteering I've done. Look at the support I gave to the police, to the church. Look at what I've done in this country, and yet I can't get a decent paid job. Not one. And all the people that I was there for, where are they? They're all supporting other people. Somebody else gets sick, they run. Somebody else needs a place to stay, they'll open the doors. But for me, who's doing it? Nobody. That's why I told my cousins, if you guys take me as your housekeeper, I'll come. Why should I stay here where nobody cares about what happens to me? Why should I stay here? Because every time something happens, it's the Americans that are helping me. So why should I stay here? For what? So I can be with Canadians who are hardcore. I don't even know why the scientists want to come here. I don't know. There's no investment in this country. The food banks are piling up. There's no increases in the pay. The post office is going bankrupt. I don't know why the Americans want to come here. They're not looking at it right of what Donald Trump is trying to do to clean up the corruption in the aid, to make sure that Americans get taken care of first. They're not looking at it right. That's why they want to come here. I don't understand how people could vote in another Liberal government after the corruption and what they did. All the corruption with Bill Monroe, with the speaking scandals. After all that, they vote in another Liberal government. And after the MPs revolted against Justin Trudeau, they took those same MPs and they put them in power. Does it make sense? I don't understand how people here think, and they don't understand how I think. And I'm a graduate of this country. I don't understand how they think. It's beyond me to understand how they think. I've got nothing left to lose, nothing, because I'm bankrupt. If the family didn't send me money, I would have to file for bankruptcy. I wouldn't be able to pay my rent. I wouldn't be able to get food. I wouldn't be able to do anything. I can't even go and rent a room in a house because I don't have a good paying job. How can I move out of here and go rent a room in a house? How? Tell me, is it possible for you to go and rent a room in a house if you don't have an income? Do you think anybody's going to rent you that room in the house? It's disgusting what's been done to me in this country. It's disgusting. And I don't hide it anymore, because every year I used to say, oh, maybe next year things will get better. Or maybe next year somebody will give me an opportunity. Or maybe next year somebody will appreciate me. And this is the environment that I'm living in, where people who cheat on their exams, who take phones onto the production floor in the call center, they're getting the jobs. They're coming to work drunk, they're keeping them. They're putting them on the best assignments. That's the environment I'm living in. And then if I do what's right and I report the right things, then I get summoned to the police station. That's the reality of Canada. This is what's happening today. And it's not just happening to me, it's happening to a lot of people. It's just that I have the courage to tell people what's happening. That's the difference. It's disgusting. I don't understand how people can vote in a government that created food banks, that created a system where we have marijuana shops in residential areas, that created systems where we have injections being thrown in the parks and children are picking them up and using them. That's what they voted for. They voted for a dictatorship where if you don't go and get your vaccine, you can't work. So if you can't work, you don't have an income. You don't have an income, you can't live. So you don't have a right to say no in the name of other people's rights being respected. Everybody knew those vaccines were not tested enough. Even those of us on the One campaign said no. You need to give people a choice. Yes, make the vaccines available, but with this COVID, it's too new. Don't shut down the churches. Keep the churches open. What did they do? They did the exact opposite. And the police supported them. All the Muslims were on the streets protesting, shutting down all the lines where emergencies had to go through, emergency vehicles, praying in the middle of the street. When we organize our prayers, it has to be organized well in advance if there's going to be any disruption to traffic. This is the Canada I'm living in. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. If somebody of my caliber and my education and my skills can't get a decent job, what the hell is it all about? It's all gone to the dogs. I'm sick of it. Oh, they don't know what to do. They don't know. Yes, they do know what to do. They just can't frickin' give me a job. That's it. They do know what to do. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. That's why I told my cousins, nobody's there for me when I need them. Oh, we're worried about you. Well, what are you freaking doing about it? Are you telling people how good I am? Are you telling them that I deserve a good job? Are you telling them that I deserve to earn a good living? Oh, no. Oh, you're just telling, oh, we're worried about you. Worried about me for what? When I'm in a job, I do very well, and I'm tired of it. My English is perfectly fine. If my English wasn't fine, I wouldn't have graduated from Regis College and from the University of Toronto. I would have failed. And if you're going to say, oh, your English is not good, then you know what? Then it's your institution that there's a problem with. It's U of T that there's a problem with, because they passed me and I wrote my papers myself. So don't give me this bullshit about, oh, your English is not good and your maths is not good and you didn't pass the score. That's bullshit, because they take people in who have less credentials than me, less education than me, and they give them an opportunity, including in the Catholic Church. So it's discrimination, that's what it is. And I'm tired of people pretending that it's not. I do not deserve to be sitting in minimum wage for 20 years and more. I do not deserve to be let go from all my jobs because somebody's wife got sick and they came in that day and they had a bad day and they let me go. I do not deserve to go into work being told your contract is being renewed, go home. We're sending the 2-year contract to your agency. And then when I get home, be told, no, we're not renewing it. Do not go back to BMO. Drop off your access card with your agency and do not contact anybody there. I do not deserve that. And that's how I'm freaking being treated, and I'm sick of the shit. I'm sick of it. It's been going on from the day I landed in this country, and I've had enough of it. I hope I get a job in America. Let all the Americans come here. They'll see how hard it is. Let them come. Because I know Americans who have come here and they regret it. They're like, everything's so expensive. It's so hard to start up. It's so hard to get clothing and food and shelter. It's so hard to find a place to rent. I said, why did you come? Go back to America. And they're like, we can't go back now. I'm like, so? You people run away from America, the greatest country on earth, and you come here. And then you want to complain to me that, oh, we shouldn't have come. Don't come. Can't you see how cheap things are in America? Your clothing, your food, your shelter. If you're willing to work, which I am, why is it that people can't find a job for you? It's ridiculous. I didn't only apply to jobs here. I applied to jobs in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in London, in Ireland, in Scotland, in Wales, through the banks. Not even one job. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, but you got your master's and I got my BCom, so what? That's the kind of envy that's what people do. That's the sin of this country. Because when they have good people like me, they don't appreciate us. Oh, she gets to be on the altar with Father Larry. So what? If Father Larry doesn't want me there, he can send me to another parish. I'll go and help the priest there. That's how people are here. And I'm tired of it. Wake up.